प्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force become perfected and efficient. All is verily the ever blissful, ever perfect, conscious reality called Brahman. All is Brahman. Let me never deny this truth of Brahman. May Brahman never reject me either. May all the virtues to experience this Brahman as proclaimed by the scriptures be with me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us try to feel Brahman, the all-pervading, ever-blissful reality, by transcending our little egos. It is because of the egos that we are not able to see the all-pervading Brahman. Let us transcend our body. It's a form. Think of wax museum. Thousands of statues of different people, all made by wax. Of course, those personages are very different from each other, and yet it is after all wax. As wax, they are same, one without second. So also our shapes, after all, they are changing all the time. We need to transcend them. As we transcend that, we will be able to feel the all-pervading essence of all these. That is Brahman. Let us feel it. Let us try to experience it. We are really that, the all-pervading essence of everything, the Brahman, sticking to our little individualities. We have to go through lot of sufferings. But once we transcend this individuality, which is anyway an illusion, then we see our true nature. We become saintly. That is the definition of saint given in Upanishads. The one who recognizes the all-pervading Brahman and gives up the attachment to this tiny individuality. That person is called a saint. In that state, there is no suffering possible, no coming or going. You know you are Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. Let us hold on to this awareness as we start studying this Bhagavatam. Om, peace, peace, peace. As you can see, this is the class number 225, and another very enchanting story is being described here. Earlier we studied stories of Parshurama, and now it is the story of it is the chapter 18, story of Yayati and Devayani. It is a very famous story. So many novels, dramas uh, have been written about this. And it has many lessons to learn from. One is the lesson of how one becomes uh, a suffering slave because of attraction to sensual enjoyment. It appears as enjoyment, but that doesn't last at all. It becomes a terrible suffering. Lot of torture ensues from that. Moreover, the way to get rid of that attachment and suffering is not easy either. Once you get into it, difficult to come out. So that is how this thing is. And this Yayati and Devayani is, this story is a big example how because of inordinate attractions, one becomes angry, jealous, possessive, and also one ultimately uh, suffers a lot, has then the life is filled with terrible remorse. So this is how this story unfolds. So there was, but let us begin our with our prayers before Charlie reminds us. So recite loudly. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelations, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsist, just as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So, we are now beginning a part of this story had been discussed earlier, the beginning of it, the story of Nahusha. Nahusha, due to his arrogance, Nahusha became very powerful king. He actually substituted Indra when Indra had to go in hiding. So there was somebody to rule the heaven. So he then became the substitute king of the heaven. So that is how Nahusha's power goes. But then that power brings arrogance. It is. So he started, following the Indra's wife Shachi. He wanted her. So now Indra has no kingdom as such. He thought that his wife also can become his. But no, she was terrified by such advances, and then Nahusha tried to follow her, made the Saptarishi, 7 rishis, which are very famous, and they are designated in that star formation with 4 and 3 like that, a tail. What is it called? Huh? Huh? Big bear, yeah. So big bear. So it is those 7 sages, and he made them carry. Look at the arrogance. His palaki. Come on, his palanquin had to be carried by these, and not only that, he kicked one of them, Agasti, that, you are going too slowly, go fast. And because of that, the King Agasti gave him the curse that you are not worthy of being here. You will become now a python on the earth. Go down. And he became a python. And then, because of the Yudhishthira's, he got released from this. That is another story. We are not getting much into it. So it is, but he had 6 sons, and the eldest, Yati, decided that he doesn't want to become a king. It is too many responsibilities, and one gets distracted from the goal of life. So I don't want to become a king. So Yayati, the second one, became the king, and he became very powerful king. He made his 4 younger brothers the governors of 4 quarters. So that is how Yayati had all this glory and power. And then unfolds this story of Devayani and Yayati. Here a very important point comes, which these days people won't understand. The customs of marriage, coming together and all that, they change. So those days there was this very powerfully enforced custom that the marriage, how should it happen? There is the 2 beautiful words are there, Anuloma and Pratiloma. King Parikshit asked Shuka, Shukra was known as Brahmarshi, while Yayati was just an ordinary Kshatriya. How could a marriage between a lower Varna to a higher Varna could take place? One can have lower Varna to higher Varna, but in a different sense. The bride can be of lower Varna and the groom can be of the higher Varna. That marriage is called Anuloma. Means it then makes for evolution. It is that the whatever now its connotations are not that clear, but in many old books, including Manusmriti, these things have been told that the Varnas are there, 4 Varnas. So if a Brahmin is considered highest. So if a Brahmin boy marries a Kshatriya girl, that is perfectly all right. It is called Anuloma. Lom means, hair. Loam means hair. So that which go along the grain of the hair. So that is allowed. But opposite of that, pratiloma, that if the girl is of a higher caste than that of boy, then that marriage is considered prohibited. It is called pratiloma, means against the trend of the hair. So it was the and this was kind of strictly enforced those days. So therefore, how could this happen? So then Shuka tells this incident that that how uh, the Shukracharya's daughter Devayani, and this is not put in this slide, but I will be reading that because it is too long. Slide would have become so. The Devayani and then many other ladies also. The princess Sharmishtha. Sharmishtha was a very pretty looking daughter of the king, Asura king, demon. So, and Shukracharya was their teacher. So, this Devayani and they went for a kind of water picnicking. And then in a very nice pool, they took off their clothes and started having some water sport. And at that time they saw Shankara and Parvati, they are coming there riding their big bull. So they immediately were abashed and quite quickly came out and put on their clothes. Now that couldn't have caused any problem, but the problem was, but by mistake Sharmishtha put on the clothes belonging to Devyani. This made Devyani very furious. There was always a bit of jealousy between them. But now she got an occasion. There is already dry hay, and a small spark of fire can make a big conflagration. So therefore, it is like that. That this made Devyani very furious. A lot of angry words were exchanged between them. What were the angry words? She said that look at the audacity of this servant maid, like she calls her a servant maid, Sharmishtha. Like a dog eating up the offerings made ready for a yajna, she has put on the dress that I should have worn. We are Brahmins, by whose austerity the universe itself was created, who represent the face of the Supreme Being, who exhibit the Brahmic splendor in the world, and who teach and practice the benevolent way of the Vedas. We belong to that great community of Brahmins who are respected even by the divinities, nay, who even the Supreme Lord salutes and serves. Not only that, among the Brahmins, we belong to the highly superior line of Bhrigus. Besides the Asura, her father is besides the Asura, the father is our disciple, means Sharmishta's father. She has put on my cloth as a Shudra learns the Vedas. What an audacity on her part. Now there is so many in the this Devyani doesn't realize that in uttering all this, she is giving up her Brahminhood by becoming such angry person and cursing in such words. This is not, this doesn't become a Brahmin. So therefore, she forgot this and uh, started saying all these things. Sharmishtha also was not going to take it lying down. She, to the preceptor's daughter, who was reeling under her, railing at her like this, Sharmishtha, now infuriated like a trampled snake, said, biting her lips and releasing long breaths. An angry person does like that. So, uh, oh beggar girl, uh, think of your condition before you talk in this fashion. You are like a watchdog in our house, eating the crumbs we give. After hurling such scandalously abusive words at the uh, good daughter of the preceptor, she disrobed her and pushed her into a well out of burning anger. That was, she pushed her into the well. So it is because of the anger. Anger means we do not really see what is right and what is wrong. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. So, krodha means anger, removes all sense of this prior, what is right, what is wrong, all propriety is discarded. So, uh, therefore, what is proper? Is it right to utter such words? No. And then the action. Not only she took away these that Devayani's clothes, threw at her, and then pushed her in the well. So, the end of this was that then Sharmishtha angrily pushed Devayani, and then there is, by chance came there Yayati. King Yayati comes there by chance, just to have some water to drink, and saw this Devyani in terrible distress, holding somehow onto the wall of the well, and so uh, he extended his upper garment for her to hold, and then pulled her by his hand. And then that now she urged Jayati that the hand that she held, that hand that held her hand, the hand that held her hand may never be touched by any other man's hand. Means that the Devayani said that this hand that is touched by you shall not be touched by any other man. Uh, she persuaded Shukracharya to allow this non-traditional marriage between her and Yayati. And then another story unfolds there. Devyani also argued that she will not be able to marry a Brahmin due to the curse of Kacha. That is a different story between Kacha and Devayani. Kacha was the son of Brihaspati, the teacher of Devas. And then he came to Shukracharya to learn what is called the science of making the dead alive. Amrita Rahasya. So that special science. Why? Because every time these devas defeat the asuras and kill them, Shukracharya, because of his that knowing this mantra, would make them alive. So he was therefore sent to secretly learn from Shukracharya. And it is mentioned that he served Shukracharya for 1,000 years. And then now Devayani was there. Devayani and Kacha fell into a kind of love with each other. And but Kacha refused to marry Devayani because he was actually killed and consumed by Shukracharya. And then he came out from the belly of Shukracharya, because by that time he had already learned that mantra by which to make the dead alive. So, and thus he comes out from Shukracharya. So he told Devayani, look, we cannot marry because now you are my sister. I had come out from the body of your father. So therefore, I will be your brother, cannot become your husband. So then Devayani and Kacha, they cursed each other. That Devayani cursed Kacha, that this all that you learnt will not come to any use when the need of it comes. When that knowledge is needed, it will not be useful at all. So, and Kacha pronounced a counter curse that no Brahmin will ever marry you. So, thus, this Devayani has an argument now. Why should I be marrying Yayati? Because I will not be able to marry any Brahmin. No Brahmin will be marrying me because of Kacha's discourse. So, therefore, Shukracharya was persuaded, and she also told Shukracharya how she was mistreated, ill-treated by Sharmishtha, and the humiliating words that she uttered. Shukra therefore decided to go away from the Asura king, because if you are there, then whatever you are their subjects, as it were. So go away from this kingdom, from this king. But knowing the Shukra's power, the king decided to persuade him to come back at any cost. Any cost. And the cost was a very humiliating position for Sharmishtha. When he said that as Devayani gets married, Sharmishtha should accompany her and all other maids that she has, all of them should go to serve Devayani. She would be a handmaid of Devayani. So this is a humiliating situation. So therefore Shukra agreed to that marriage and then put this condition to Yayati, who was initially not inclined to marry Devayani, as it was against the social custom. As I told, Anulom and pratiloma. So this would have been a pratilom wedding which was not sanctioned by the customs of that time. So, uh, but then there is the attraction. He was very much attracted to Devyani too, so he agreed. So Shukra put an important condition that Yayati should never share bed with Sharmishtha. This is the condition. But that did not happen. The story given here is like this. When Sharmishtha saw Devayani to be pregnant, uh, she had the desire for child also, and she then requested King Yayati that, see, you are Kshatriya, I am also Kshatriya. So therefore, please, give me children. And so there is some Yayati agreed, and due to some other custom that was prevalent, that a woman in such situation, if she is urging, then one should not refrain from fulfilling her. So he agreed to that. So both Devyani and Sharmishtha had children from the king Yayati. And what an insult for this for Devyani. She was not a very proud girl, and so went back to her father's home. And then the father cursed Yayati that on coming to know that her husband, the king, had children by Sharmishtha, the proud Devyani was moved to great anger and went away to her father Shukra's house. The love infatuated Yayati went after her and tried to pacify her with sweet words and personal endearments, but failed. The angry Shukra now cursed the king. "O you liar and a slave of lust! Old age, which makes the human form ugly, shall now set on you." And then Jayati became old. Old age creeps faster than we think it is going to come. We keep on thinking we are still young, but you become old. The face gets wrinkled, the energy in the limbs is gone, and so many such things happen due to old age. That the ears cannot hear, no organs can function properly, and the eyes develop many things like cataract and glaucoma, and so the old age is curse. But you cannot prevent. One minister had come here, a very good friend of mine. So he came and told, Swami, let me tell you one thing, don't get old. Now is it as it were, is it in our hands, not getting old? It is, we start becoming old right from the birth. It is, therefore, in English, not in America, but in British English, this is a common term. How old are you? Even a child is asked this question, how old are you? 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, like that. So everybody is old. And the strength of the youth, the beautiful appearance of the youth, it wanes away fast. What does not go away is that passion, the desire to enjoy the youth. That still persists. There is a beautiful verse by Bhartrihari that, look, वलिभिर्मुखमाक्रान्तं फलितेन अंकितं शिरः गात्राणि शिशिथिलायन्ते Trishna eka tarunayate. That the face gets all wrinkled, then valiten ankitam shirha, hair now become all grey. It is, and then your body is now all weak. It doesn't have that strength. So, but what in all this process, what remains young? Trishna eka tarunayate. The thirst alone remains. The desires, they do not grow old. They are still there. Therefore, never think that in old age we will control our desires. It is in youth, if you can, it is at least possible. In old age, it is very, very difficult, impossible, because of the power, the mental strength has all sapped away. So, it is, therefore, it doesn't happen. Old age comes. And old age comes with this, that no, you cannot do anything. You start feeling that, but the desire for sexual enjoyment was still very live in Yayati. Shukracharya says that now the old age will catch you. So he pleads. Yayati said, I have not yet been satisfied with life with your daughter. So Shukra replied, if any person is willing to take over your old age, may you be capable of transferring it to him and yourself receiving the youth. Some young person says that, okay, I will take your old age, take my young age. But now who is going to make such a sacrifice? He asked his sons in great hope that, you see, I am suffering. I still want to enjoy. Can you get my old age and give me your youth? The sons, they all except one made humiliating fun of king. What do you mean? Are you not ashamed making such request? This is very bad. It is the old age, everybody comes to old age, and then what you thought you enjoyed earlier, and that also was not enjoyment, but still what you thought enjoyment, now you cannot have that. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a story that a man used to do Kali Puja every year with lot of pomp and would serve the Ma Kali's prasad, that is usually a goat or a sheep would be sacrificed in that puja and then distributed as prasad. So after some time he stopped having that kind of worship. People said that you had been worshipping Mother Kali like this for many years now. Suddenly why did you stop? He said, don't you see, I have no more teeth left. So he cannot chew on the bones and other things there. So therefore decided not to do the Kali Puja. There was not much any devotion to Mother Kali, but the desire to eat the meat. So that made him do Kali Puja. So it is, we feel we are still young, but no, the youth wanes away. We don't want to accept this. We feel that no, 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 it is not that. I am still young. So it is, and we want to go ahead with it. Actually, psychologists tell, and it is so true. You see why parents want their children to get married and have the enjoyment of sexual life, because in a proxy manner they enjoy that from their children. So it is the proxy. So if I cannot do it, I will be doing it through my children. So that is why they want the children to get married and start living a life of having children and so forth. So it is that is how it happens. So King Yayati was he told that, oh, it is because there is lot of things written. I did not make a slide for it, but I will read. So Yayati made this request to his eldest son. So his name was Yadu, that son that he had from Devyani. So he made the request to Yadu. Yadu said, I am not ready to take on the old age that has overtaken you in the middle of my own life, for I have only just started enjoying life's pleasures, and without sufficient enjoyment of them, a man cannot get a distaste for them. Even there is nothing sufficient about it. The distaste doesn't get developed easily. It is, therefore, Bhagavad Gita says that Vishaya Vinivartante. In the second chapter, this verse comes that Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinaha Rasavarjam, means for various reasons you control your senses. But the desire is not gone, the desire remains. And so a man becomes, cannot really enjoy sex as such. Impossible. But then goes for some other substitutes because the desire is still there. So that desire does not go away. Let us remember this, that and thus but desire doesn't go away at all. No, goes away. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Means when one sees the supreme truth, that I am everything. In everything I am the enjoyer and enjoyed. There is no other enjoyment. So when you see the supreme truth, then the idea of enjoyment itself vanishes. There is no yearning anymore. That it is like Shiva Mahimna Stotra also mentions this, that those who are fulfilled, they do not go after what is called Mrigatrishna. Them Mrigatrishna does not Brahmayati. So they do not get whirled around by these fake desires. So they are liberated thereby. But he goes to to Yadu first. Uh, and he says, no, no, I cannot give my youth to you and get the old age instead. Who will say yes? No, it is. I told you an incident a few times that a young boy, about 19 years old then, and his at that time somebody who had come to join the order as a pre-monastic. So his parents came and persuaded him somehow and took him away. And then we were discussing how this happens, you see, why parents should not allow their son to take up this path. It is very difficult. Hardly parents do that. So at that time, another gentleman who used to come and help out by some voluntary work, he came, and at the breakfast we were having a discussion, and he also used to take breakfast with us. And he said, if my son becomes monastic, I will be very happy. I will not hinder his path. And then we saw the son coming in. He also used to do some nice voluntary work. He was in college then. So we said to him, hey, look, your father thinks that he will be very happy if you become a monk. And then he said, what does it cost him to say that? He had his days of enjoyment. And now tell son that you go and become a monk. Oh, no, absolutely not. He's a very nice boy. Even now I have met him not too long ago in Delhi. So he lives in Delhi. So it is like that nobody likes to give up the youth to somebody and take the old age of that person. It is in spite of their father's pleading, the other sons, Durvasu, Druhayu, and Anu, were also refused to accept the proposal, being this ignorant of dharma and being under the mistaken notion that their fleeing youth was perpetual. This youth is fleeting, that you become old and it doesn't take much time, because while young we feel that, oh yes, this will last. This doesn't last, comes and goes very fast. So, but one doesn't realize it at that time, feels that okay, it is. So it is not perpetual. Now next he made the same request to his last son Puru. He was the son from Sharmishtha. So, who was young in years but advanced in virtue. He said, dear one, do not refuse my request like your elder brothers. Puru replied, O best of men, who can make an adequate return to one's father for the gift of this body, which is the means for attaining the highest values? Now that doesn't require the young looking body. You gave it the youth and then took the old age. But since you have done it at a young age and willingly, then that means a big spiritual unfoldment will happen to you. The best son is the one who performs the father's wish even without telling. The, the one who does not does that is asked as uh, middling. The one who does when asked. The best son will know it beforehand and will act. The middle ones is the one who concede that request, grant that request when asked. Uh, the bad one is he who executes the father's command in a careless and imperfect way, and he who totally refuses to do anything even when asked by father cannot be called the father's son, but only his excreta. Uh, Not son. What is this? The father is asking you and you refuse it. Huh? So, therefore, he said, uh, Puru took over his father's old age on himself with joy, and Yayati, assuming his youth, enjoyed the pleasures of life to his heart's content. It is this king ruled over the 7 continents of the earth, uh, like a father to his subjects, and enjoyed the good things of life with unfading vigor of the senses. And his beloved wife Devyani gave him the most intense joy in privacy with all the endowments of her mind, word, and body. By the performance of several yajnas accompanied with plentiful dakshinas, he adorned the Supreme Being Hari, the recipient of all yajnas, the embodiment of all Vedas and of all deities, and the eraser of these miseries, establishing in his heart Vasudeva, the indweller, the uh, subtlest of the subtle, based on whom this universe shines like the clouds in the sky, like objects seen in dream, magical show, or a Rivera, and in whom it subsides when the mind has become calm, establishing him in, in his heart, also known as Narayana. In the heart he adorned him, and with yajnas, giving up all selfish motives. Thus, for 1,000 years, the emperor enjoyed by means of the 5 organs, sense or 5 uh, roguish senses, and the mind, the pleasures which are really mental. Yet he found no satisfaction, and then he saw the truth that it is that he saw that immense sensual indulgences, uxorious Yayati became aware at the same time of his steep spiritual fall. He then developed a revulsion for sensuality and narrated the following story to his wife. O daughter of sage Shukra, hear a story that is parallel to mine, in which story some sages living in the forest bemoan the fate of one who had given himself up to sensuous indulgences. A he goat was once coming about in the forest, eating eating whatever he liked. He came across a she goat that had fallen in love owing to the force of its past karmas. And then that is the story that how that desire entangled, that and many other she-goats seeing mates, also sought him, seeking him to uh, seeing him to plump, hairy, lusty, and tireless in mating. A slave to lust, he goat never thought of his own true nature. But then the goat was rescued from the well, could not bear the sight of her husband mating with another she goat. So that is how rescued from the well means Devayani. She could not, thus seeing her husband unfaithful, hypocritical, uh, lascivious, and bent on enjoyment only, she went away to her master's place in great grief. But that pitiable he goat, addicted to female company, ran after her, bleating in many ways to cajole and pacify her, but in vain. In great anger, the owner of the she goat, a Brahmana, now cut off the hanging testicles of the he goat, but through his occult powers he later united the testicles with the body of the he goat, so that his she goat might continue to mate with him. Uh, that it doesn't happen like that. So she finally, it is, she gave him up and so it is one enters into all these pleasures, but it is sa trishna dukkha nivaha sharma kamo dritam tyajet. So this trishna is to be given up for these lustful things. So we shall take up we will conclude this story here, and then there will come now the stories from some Mahabharata, the things that let us conclude with the closing chant. निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्हो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Any questions? Anybody has any question on what we read? No. Any question up there? No question. It was a simple storytelling, so no question. So let us conclude with our chant, closing chant. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna bol, Krishna Krishna bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda bol. Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol. Keshava Madhava Hari Hari bol. Coming Sunday is the auspicious Shivaratri day. So there will be a little additional worship in the morning, and in the evening after the Sunday lecture, which is also on Shiva, the third eye of Shiva, and then there will be Shivanam Sankirtanam. All of you are requested to join.